will discuss this, and then after that, I'll give you the remaining time to do the activity or the activities if you're not yet done with activity number 5. And before the end of the class, I'll be releasing the prelim grades. So before 4:30, magre-release ako ng grades. Wait lang. Ayan. So again, our activity number 6 is entitled Concentration and Dilution of Solutions. Since the lecture, we have started discussing the aqueous solutions. It is also important for us to know the concentration. Dapat alam natin kung ano yung concentration ng ating mga solutions in the laboratory. So that is why we will talk about the concentration, but we will just concentrate sa molarity kasi marami tayong expressions of concentration class. Let me give you an overview for the expressions of concentrations. Ang pinaka-ginagamit syempre is the percentage. Example, 100% ang concentration niya. So it is very concentrated. Or mga 98%, or kagaya ng alcohol natin, di ba? Mga binibenta na alcohol sa market like the ethanol or ethyl alcohol is 70%, meron ding 40%. So yun yung concentration nila, class. Ang ibig sabihin ng concentration is the amount of solute dissolved in the solution or dissolved in our solvent. Now we also have other expressions like normality. If we will have our face-to-face class, you will see this a laboratory example, the chemical formula of the compound HCl, tapos may nakalagay, example, the number and the capital letter N. That capital letter N there is called normal or normality, and that is the concentration of the solution. Okay? And then, number 3, we also have the so-called molality. And we use small letter m to denote our unit for the molality. So example, 2m. We call that 2 molal hydrochloric acid. And then we also have the so-called formality. But formality nowadays is actually obsolete. We don't use this anymore. But dati, ginagamit siya to express concentration of the solution. So pag sinabing 2FHCl, yan yung magiging concentration niya. But in this case, in this activity, we will concentrate only kay molarity. And for molarity, we use the capital letter M. Again, this is capital letter M. So pag nakalagay dyan 2MHCl, ang kanyang concentration ay 2 molar. So we call it molar, 2 molar hydrochloric acid. So again, these are all the possible expressions or units of concentration that we can use for our compounds in the laboratory or our solutions in the laboratory. Now let's begin with the discussion ni molarity. Ano bang ibig sabihin ni molarity? This is actually the amount of solute in moles dissolved in 1 liter of solution. So ito yung definition class ni molarity. Again, it is defined as the number of solutes or the number of moles to be exact. Moles yung unit na ginagamit ha. And then dissolved in 1 liter of solution. So when we had our discussion with the measurement, actually, na-touch natin yung moles doon. And pag sinabing moles class, this is our SI unit for the amount of substance. Oops. Amount of substance. Again, the moles class is defined, is actually the SI unit for the amount of substance or substances. Now, if we compute for the molarity, this is just our formula. Number of moles divided by liter of solution. Again, that is our formula for molarity. Number of moles over liter of solution. But in reality, again, in reality, we actually don't have an equipment that can measure the number of moles na madidissolve natin sa solvent. So in the laboratory, we have the analytical balance or other types of balances to measure weight. So kaya ang binibigay sa mga problem solving class most of the time is the mass of the compound na dinidissolve natin. Now, how are we going to compute for the number of moles? So aside from this formula, we will also use this formula class if ever in the problem hindi nabigay si number of moles. This is weight in grams divided by the molecular weight. Again, this is our formula to get the number of moles. Weight in grams divided by the molecular weight. Now, I believe you are familiar by the weight in grams, but how about for our molecular weight? How are we going to compute for this? The molecular weight is actually the total weight of the compound by virtue of the atomic weights of the elements. Okay, and the number of atoms present. So I don't know kung naturo ito pag high school, pag sinabing molecular weight class, paano natin siya kukunin? Example, our compound NaCl, our table salt, sodium chloride. If you are asked to compute for the molecular weight of NaCl, ganito ang gagawin ninyo. You list down all the elements. So you have the sodium and the chlorine. Tapos, you identify how many atoms of each element are present in the compound. Again, you identify how many atoms. Siyempre, di ba, kung walang subscript, automatic this is 1. So we have 1 sodium and 1 chlorine. After that, you multiply it sa kanilang atomic mass. Other names sa atomic mass, atomic weight or mass number. So saan nyo siya makikita? Siyempre sa periodic table. That is why before we started, I asked you to prepare your periodic table as well as your calculator. So kindly look at your periodic table and see there what is the atomic weight of sodium. Kindly round it off to the nearest whole number. Again, let us always use the whole number.
23, ma'am.
Okay,
23, ma'am.
Pila? 20?
23.
23.
Okay, 23. How about for chlorine?
35.
35 po, ma'am.
This is 35. So this is how you are going to compute for the molecular weight. Multiply natin sila bawat isa and then i-add natin. So this is 58 grams per mole. The unit for our molecular weight is grams per mole. So for sodium chloride class, it's 58 grams per mole. Ang ibig sabihin yan, sa isang mole ng sodium chloride, ang kanyang weight or ang kanyang mass ay 58 grams. That's how you get the molecular weight. Nasundan yon? Or do you have questions? Let us have another example for the molecular weight. Molecular weight na lang muna. Tapos we will try to compute for the number of moles later and also, syempre, the molarity. So to give you another example sa pag-compute ng ating molecular weight, let me delete this first so that I can have space for writing on the screen. Okay, Laris. Sige. So for example, you have your sodium bicarbonate. This is our compound. So paano nga natin i-compute ang molecular weight ni sodium bicarb? Can you try there in your notebook or in any piece of paper, and then later let us compare if we will have the same answer for the molecular weight of sodium bicarb. Answer ninyo. Mana? Wala pa. Wala pa. So isahon na ha. Sodium, hydrogen. Isa to. Ay, nag-answer.
84, ma'am.
Okay, 84. What's that, Janiel?
84
Okay.
grams per mole.
Sige, let us see. Let us see if we'll have the same answer. So again, you identify all the elements present in the compound and then identify how many atoms are present. So the atoms is being represented by the subscript. If there is no subscript, automatic 1. So you have 1 sodium, 1 hydrogen, 1 carbon, and 3 oxygen. And i-multiply natin sila each sa kanilang mga atomic weight. So this is 23. So this is 23 here. Hydrogen is 1. Oxygen is 12. Again, round the atomic weights sa nearest whole number. And lastly, oxygen is 16. So this is 48. So if we add this is 14, carry 1, 84. So yes, the correct answer is 84 grams per moles or mole. Okay, 84 grams per mole ang ating molecular weight for sodium bicarb. Now let us try to use that in the computation of our concentration in molarity. Example, you are asked to prepare NaCl solution. So what is the concentration of the solution if you dissolve asin ha, asin. Example, you have your table salt there. 5 grams of NaCl in 500 ml solution. So ano daw yung magiging concentration kung nag-dissolve kayo ng 5 grams na sodium chloride in 500 ml solution. Again, palakihin ko lang yung space ko. In computing for the molarity, the concentration should be in molarity here ha, kasi marami nga tayong units for our concentration. So molarity is equal to the number of moles of the solute divided by liters or liter of solution. Now in the given, wala tayong makikita na number of moles. Wala din tayong makikita na liter. So kailangan din nating convert. But let us start first with the number of moles. Ang number of moles is computed like this. Weight in grams divided by the molecular weight. And in the given, the weight in grams is 5. So we have 5 grams. How about the molecular weight? We have computed for the molecular weight of NaCl a while ago. Diba? It's 58. But for the sake na mapakita natin siya, this is how we computed a while ago for the molecular weight of our NaCl. So this is 58 grams per mole. So ilagay mo siya dyan, class, 58 grams per mole. Ayan, i-divide natin. Let's cancel the grams. By the way, ang name niyan ay mole, pero ang symbol niya is mole without an E ha. Basig matingalam mo usahay, magsulat ko og moles na na ay E, usahay, wala E. Iklang. Ulog di akong calculate. Ayan, so 5 divided by 58 is 0. Let's copy everything first to make it more accurate. Mag-iiba kasi ang answer nyo kapag pinutol natin itong sagot na hindi pa siya final answer. So again, sa final answer na tayo, mag-round off. 0.086206896. The unit is mole. So, though nasa baba siya, pero per mole kasi ito, kaya kukuha tayo ng reciprocal sa taas na si mole, dili na per mole ha. Ano gina siya? 0.086206896 mole. So, pwede natin siya ilagay dito, class. 0.086206896 mole. Divided by liters of solution. But the given is in ml, so you need to convert that first before you can proceed with the computation of molarity. Now, what is our conversion factor? Ang ml ang sa baba, liter sa taas, so that we can cancel this. Sa isang litro, meron tayong 1,000 ml. So, 500 divided by 1,000 is 0.5 liters. So, yan yung gagamitin natin ngayon in the computation. So, 0.5 liters. So, i-divide natin 0.086206896 mole divided by 0.5 is 0.172413793. The unit here is mole per liter. And this is not yet the final answer. The final answer, class, if my instruction is you need to follow the correct rules sa significant figures, syempre you have to look at the given. So in the given, you only have one significant figure. And kung significant figure ang hinahanap, syempre this will be 0.2 mole per liter. Kasi kailangan natin ng isang significant figure lang. This is 1 here. This is still 1 here. So again, one significant figure. Kasi nag-round off tayo. Hanggang dito ka lang, one significant figure, pero the next digit is 7, kaya naging 0.2 moles per liter siya. Or you may actually write this as 0.2 m, capital letter M. Equal lang yung moles per liter and capital letter M. Now, for example, my instruction is you have to round off the final answer to 2 decimal places, then the correct answer must be 0.17 moles per liter or 0.17 capital letter M. So you really have to follow the instruction. Depende kasi sa, minsan gusto ko kasi 2 decimal places, minsan my instruction will be for you to follow the correct rules sa significant figures. Question or questions about the problem number 1? Anyone na medyo nalito sa computation natin? Wala. So let us have another example. Tapos mag-move on tayo sa dilution. So again, to give you another example for the computation of molarity, this is example number 2. Compute for the molarity of a 250 ml solution containing 3.5 grams of sodium carbonate. Okay, so you try and you please try to follow what I did in the first example. Please compute for the molarity. So this is the concentration of a 250 ml solution containing 3.5 grams of sodium carbonate. Then you may send your answers sa chat.
Ma'am, ang final answer kay two significant figures, two decimal places, or ang rules of significant figures, ma'am?
Ay, ano na lang sa 2 decimal places. Hindi mo maglibog. 2 decimal places ang final answer. Final answer ha, yung pag-round off sa process. Kaya mag-iba na inyong answer.
Same Japon ang formula ay ang ano ma'am no formula ma'am.
Same gihapon. Sunda lang sa ang process. I-2 decimal places ang isend ha. Saba mo iro. Are you done? Let's get 2 more minutes. Okay, let us see. Sige, let us see if your answers na na-send here are correct. Okay, so again, we have molarity is equal to moles divided by liter of solution, but we cannot see moles in the given, so let's compute for it first. Moles is equal to the weight in grams, this is in grams, divided by the molecular weight. So in the given, we have 3.5 grams of the sodium carbonate, and for the molecular weight, we can compute for that. We have Na, C, and O. And we have 2 for sodium, 1 for carbon, and 3 for oxygen. Times 23, so this is 46. This is 1, this is 12. Ayan. And then this is 16, so this is 48. So let's add plus 12 plus 46. It's 106 grams per mole. So let's place it here, 106 grams per mole. Therefore, the number of moles for the 3.5 grams of sodium carbonate is 0.033018867 grams per mole. Now we will use this again in the computation. 0.033018867 grams per mole. And then for the liters of solution, again, wala tayong given na liter class. So i-convert natin siya, ang 250 ml, to liters. Sa isang litro, meron kang 1,000 ml. So again, we have 1,000 ml here. Let's cancel the ml. Siyempre, ang may iwan is 1,000. Ay, liter. 250 divided by 1,000 is 0.25 liters. So we'll put it here. So we have, sorry, ano na may grams per mole ni? Cancel ta, grams, mole lang na ha, mole. Mole lang na, mole. 0.033018867. Tama, signalibot ko. 0.033018867. Divided by 0.25 is 0.132075468 moles per liter. or sa akong instruction 2 decimal places no. So this is 0.13 moles per liter or 0.13 capital letter M. That's how you compute for the molarity of the solution. Questions? Linjan ang hindi naintindihan.
None, ma'am.
Naintindihan yan. So just follow the process, class. Compute for the number of moles first, but if we want to compute the number of moles, you have to look for the molecular weight first. And then if the volume of the solution is in ml, always remember to convert it first to liter before we can proceed with the computation of the molarity. Okay? Now, the next part of the activity is about dilution. So even not in the laboratory, kahit sa bahay lang ginagawa natin yung dilution. This is actually a process used to produce a less concentrated solution. So again, our goal for the dilution is to produce or to make a lesser concentrated solution. So, di ba sa bahay, ginagawa natin yan. Example, nagtimpla tag juice. Tapos, pag tilaw na to sa atong juice, murag tamis, raman gid kayo. So, tag concentrated kayo akong gitimpla. So, mag-add taog water, mag-add taog solvent. Na pag-add na to sa solvent, dili na kayo siya sweet. So, lesser na iyahang concentration. So, the process there of adding more solvent is called dilution. Yan yung ginagawa natin sa chemistry laboratory if we really want to produce a less concentrated one. Now, for dilution, actually, dili man yun siya kanang lisod nga computation. No? The formula na ginagamit natin for dilution is just C1V1 equals C2V2. Wherein, this part here, the C1V1, this is for the so-called stock solution. Or in other words pa, this is our original or more concentrated na solution. While this part here, C2V2, is for our new solution or our less concentrated na solution. The C there is the concentration and the V is the volume. So let me give you an example. Sample number 1. What is the concentration of a 500 ml solution prepared from 200 ml of 0.5 m NaCl solution. This is an example of a problem about dilution. So ang tanong, what is daw the concentration of a 500 ml solution prepared from? Ang hint nyo there, prepared from, meaning galing siya sa 200 ml of 0.5 m NaCl solution, which means that the C1 here is the 0.5 m. This is the original concentration of the original solution. And the volume 1 here, the volume of the original solution is 200 ml. While the concentration for the new solution, syempre, is unknown. Ito nga yung ating hinahanap. But the volume is given and that is 500 ml. So ano daw yung kanyang concentration kung ang 0.5 m na 200 ml, dinagdagan mo ng solvent, tapos, ang kanyang volume ay naging 500 ml na. So, in computing, again, let's just use this formula here. And this is like this. 0.5 m times, i-multiply mo lang siya with 200 ml equals, hinahanap natin si C2 and then i-multiply siya with the 500 ml. So, 0.5 times 200 is 100 m times ml. This is multiplication equals, syempre ito hindi natin ma-multiply. Now, to get the C2, we need to isolate it. So, let's divide both sides sa 500 ml. We don't transpose. Hindi tayo nagta-transpose dito na ililipat natin si 500 ml sa kabila. No. We only do transposition if the operation is either addition or subtraction. But since this is multiplication, let's divide both sides sa 500 ml and let's cancel it. Let's cancel the ml also on the other side and you will be left with molarity. So that is now the unit for the concentration. So in this side, you will have the C2. So 100 divided by 500 is 0.2 molar. So this is now the new concentration of the prepared solution. So as you can see, bumaba class, yung kanyang bumaba, right? From 0.5 m na concentration, this is 200 ml here. Nagdagdag tayo ng solvent, naging 500 ml na siya. Bumaba ang kanyang concentration, naging 0.2 m. So the process again is called dilution. Magpa-prepare tayo ng new solution with a lesser concentration coming from our stock solution or the original solution. You have questions about this? Sa dilution? Okay. Yes?
May possibility po, ma'am, na si V2 ang hanapin.
Yes, I'll give you an example for that. Kung V2 ang hahanapin. Are you done copying? Can I erase this now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Let us erase the writings on the screen and let me give you an example. Number 2. Okay, I like this one. How much volume is needed to prepare 0.15 molar of NaCl solution from, so galing kay 100 ml of 0.35 m NaCl stock solution. As you can see here, may na-mention na talaga na stock solution, which means this is the original solution. Okay? So anong hinahanap? Volume. The solution is, the concentration is already given. So kung sa laboratory pa ni class, tagaan tamog 100 ml na 0.35 m. And then ang inyuhang goal is to make a solution na iyahang concentration is 0.15 m. Now how are you going to do that? You just need to know the volume. So the same formula, but for the given, we have the C1 0.35 m, the C2 is 0.15 m, the volume number 1 is 100 ml, and the volume number 2 is unknown. So again, the same formula, C1 V1 equals C2 V2. So 0.35 m times V1 is 100 ml. And then C2 is 0.15 m. And then the volume is unknown. So pwede din siyang ganito. So 0.35 times 100 is 35 m times ml. And then 0.15 m here times V2. And then let's isolate the V2. So let's divide both sides with 0.15 m. So let's cancel this one. Let's cancel the molar here also. You will be left with the ml. So what is the volume? 35 divided by 0.15 is 2 decimal places lang ta. 233.33 ml. So this is now the answer. So ang himuon ana class in the laboratory, di ba naatay 100 ml na 0.35 m. Our goal is himuon siya 0.15 m. So magdagdag ka ngayon ng solvent, gawin mo siyang 233.33 ml, automatic ito na yung kanyang concentration. That's what we are going to do sa lab para ma-prepare siya. So pwede din na volume ang hanapin. Meron kang goal na concentration. Actually, you can also we also have problems na ang ginapangita kay ang C1 or ang V1. So it's just you just have to list down the given para dili ka maglibog kung C1 ba ang ginapangita or C2. You will have the hint there. Pag moingon na ganyan na siya, prepared from ang sunod ana ng mga number kay original na siya, meaning C1 and V1, especially if dimension gud niya nga stock solution. Okay? And then kung ang hint nimo is to prepare, so example, to prepare 500 ml of 0.19 m. So to prepare this one, kay i-prepare pa man siya, meaning siya ang new solution. So dapat i-understand ninyo ang problem kung unsa ang ginapangita. C1 ba, V1, C2, or V2. So dinha sa inyong mga balay, actually we can actually do this. For example, namo din hay 70% na alcohol. So this dilution process is not just solely for molarity ha. Any unit of concentration can be applied here. So example again, naamoy 70% na alcohol. That is our stock solution. Tapos unsa kadaghan ng naa din ha sa inyong balay, 500 ml. No karon gusto ka nga dugay siya mahurot. Again, gusto ka nga dugay siya mahurot, so gidugangan nimo siya og tubig. We can actually do that for alcohol. But for ethyl alcohol, ang pinakagamay nga concentration na possible na it can also kill and prevent the growth of bacteria is 40%. So example, your goal now is magbuhat kag 40% na lang na ethyl alcohol. So unsa ka kadaghan nga tubig ang imuhang dugang. So one siya V2 gihapon ang ginapangita. So i-multiply lang gihapon nato na siya class. 70 times 500 is 35,000% times ml equals 40% times V2. Let us divide both sides sa 40%. Let's cancel this. We will be left with the V2 here. So 35,000 divided by 40 is 875 ml. So this is now the volume. So kung gusto ka managhan ng imuhang alcohol din ha nga na-stock sa imuhang balay, i-lower lang nato iyang concentration pero still considered effective manggihapon siya. Kung nakay 500 ml din ha, dugangan nimo siya og water up dili siya nimo dugangan og 875 ha, dugangan nimo siya og tubig up to 875 ml. So you will just add 375 ml na tubig. Mahimo na siya 875 ml. And then automatic ang concentration ana niya kay 40%. So yan yung process natin sa dilution. So always remember, sa dilution, pag C2 ang hinahanap ninyo class concentration, tama inyong answer pag ninaog na ang iyahang concentration. Pero pag tanaw ninyo, uy, mas dako pa ang concentration, ang second concentration kaysa sa first, most likely mali na inyong answer class. Kay ang goal nato is to bring down the or decrease the concentration of our solution. Muna to siya diluted solution. Okay? Questions? Wala. I'll be sending you a copy of the link para you can still work on up to next week for this activity. So sa inyong activity, I think we have 8 questions here. Yeah, so try to understand the questions and answer this and take note of the instruction. Show all your solutions. So this should be handwritten again. Kasi you have to show your solution. And then kindly round off the final answer to 2 decimal places. I hope nagkasinabutaan na. 2 decimal places for the final answer. Please do not round off during the process. So again, deadline for this is next week, Thursday. Now for the remaining time, it's 2:30. You still have 2 hours left. Please work on the remaining activity number 5. And if ever you are done with activity number 5, you may try doing the activity number 6. Before 4:30, mga 4 o'clock siguro, I will release the prelim grade. So please, pakihintay na lang sa chat. Sa chat ko i-send ha, personal, I mean, hindi ko ipakita sa lahat. I-message ko kayo isa-isa for your prelim na grade. Ang ating passing grade, syempre 3. We don't use the 70, 71, 90, 90, 98, 100. We don't use that anymore in college. So I'll be sending you sa chat the transmuted one. Our passing grade nato is 3.